y'all, it's Simply Shaquila, the Southern Belle Bombshell, and I'm back today for another review of the Braxton Season 2, Episode 1, titled New Hustles, Old Wounds. So Tamar meets up with Ashley. They briefly talk about her situation as far as her telling her story on the on social media about what happened to her in her childhood. Tamar states that she feels Ashley has regressed after telling her story because of how the family chose to handle it. And Ashley says that Tamar is the only person that has shown support, and Tamar apologizes to her on behalf of the family. And girl, shout out to Tamar. I have a newfound respect for her because she is handling this situation appropriately and correctly. The rest of the family, yeah, they're not doing right. And I really want to know what Miss E has to say about this situation. In this episode, they don't ask her any questions pertaining to it. I really want to know her thoughts. Like, what does she have to say? That's what I would really like to know. And then Tawanda and Trina meet up, talk about Tawanda's engagement. Like, I get that she's excited to be married and to have a wedding because she's never had one before. But y'all was engaged for like 10 years, girl. Like, what took so long? That's what I want to know. What took so long for y'all to get married? I'm very disappointed in Trina and how she's been handling this situation. Tawanda said that Trina is a victim. Trina agrees. And while that may be true, the way you went about it is wrong. And Tawanda stated that Trina didn't do anything. It's not really about what she did. It's about what she didn't do. That's the problem. And Trina did a live recently with her husband. I forgot that man's name. Where she's saying that Gabe isn't alive to tell his story, meaning that it shouldn't be spoken about because he's not here to defend himself. She's losing the plot. I wish Trina would just be quiet, because what she's saying is not right. Like, what she's saying, girl, like, why does he need to be here to defend himself? Just because he passed away, that does not mean whatever he did on earth passes away with him either. And your niece is still here. Like, this really happened in real life, and he should not have been texting her inappropriately, point blank, period. And somebody in my last video brought up the fact that Trina kids didn't even like Gabe. So if she stayed with Gabe and her kids didn't even like him, and she was oblivious to the fact, that was made crystal clear in that episode of Ayanla Fits My Life, where it was just Trina, Gabe, and their kids. Like, she was saying that she didn't even know that was the case. If she's oblivious to that, of course she's not going to stand up for her niece. Like, that was so crazy to me. Like, how do you not know how your children feel and you live in a house with them each and every day? You didn't know they didn't like your husband. Was she delusional, or was she just like, she was delusional on purpose? Or what's going on? Because how can that be so? I mean, nobody's perfect, and I get that, but it just seems like they are losing the plot, okay? And then Tawanda asked Trina how she feels about the family Tamar giving Ashley a platform. And what I don't understand about this is, we know y'all because of Toni Braxton. Without Toni Braxton, we wouldn't know y'all. Tamar became a fan favorite. She, had her success in the entertainment career, her music career, being on television, etc., etc. Just because y'all are on this TV show does not mean y'all can control who, what, when, where, and why the rest of y'all family members get to, quote unquote, have a platform. And you don't get to dictate who can give them one and why. Like, I just don't understand that. What's the problem with Tamar giving Ashley a platform? That's her niece. If she chooses to do that, she can do that. And then I also saw some throwback clips of Tawanda and Tamar arguing in the previous seasons. And basically, Tawanda's issue with Tamar was she went about getting her own show in a sneaky way. And it's like, your sisters, your siblings, your family members can decide to separate and have their own career, their own endeavors. It doesn't have to be a group effort. And if it just so happens to be that, more opportunities are presented to them for whatever reasons, you should not be mad at that. You should not be upset with that. Y'all don't get to tag along with your family members just because. Like, they have a weird enmeshment to me. Because why would you be mad at your sister for getting her own show? I mean, she was married to an executive at the time. It would make sense for them to have their own show. It's a lot of toxic family dynamics within their family, clearly. And it's just being exposed more and more. And I really want to know what Miss E thinks about all of this. Because what are your thoughts? Like, why wouldn't they ask her opinion on what's going on and what's happening? And it seems like, well, this is only episode 1, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming seasons. But I think the next episode, Ashley is actually going to be, she's on Tamar podcast, and I think they're going to air, some of that. I haven't seen Tamar's podcast. I don't know if it has come out yet or not. I'll do some research to see. But girl, so far, season 1, I don't think it's off to a good start with Trina and Tawanda. But definitely shout out to Tamar for doing her big one and handling the situation appropriately. And I want to know if Tamar is ever going to tell her story. Like, is this encouraging her to tell her story and speak her truth? I would love to know. I know that she was abused, but she didn't really say who, when, where. Not that she has to give any of that information, but, it'll just be interesting to see if she ever does do that, especially because her family pretty much said that they was going to help her, which is weird. Like, it's definitely some family secrets. Like she said family secrets suck. And the thing about it doesn't have to be a secret. It really doesn't have to be a secret. And oftentimes keeping it a secret, or not getting your healing from the things that happen, it makes things worse. And I know certain conversations can be hard to have. Situations can be hard to deal with, hard to remember, hard to cope, and all of that stuff. But healing is on the other side of that. Like, healing, peace, and actually moving forward. Because brushing stuff under the rug, it just be a whole bunch of ish piled up, and then one day it overflows and spills out. So, okay, I just don't like how Trina and Tawanda are basically saying, like, they're more concerned about the optics of it than what actually happened. And Tawanda was saying she wished that Ashley would have reached out to Trina and not spoken about it on social media, because social media can be a beast, which social media really can. But you can't control how she chooses to speak her truth. That's just, and why would she reach out to Trina when she already feels ostracized by the family? And yes, she did move out of the country, and yes, she may have changed her number, but I can just imagine how y'all stonewalled her. Probably stonewalled her, gaslit her. And of course, why would she reach out to her? That wouldn't make sense for her to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they have a strange way of looking at it, and I just don't think that is the appropriate way. And they are definitely going about the situation wrong. Yeah, y'all, that's my review. I'm not really going to talk about the fluff of the show, like Tamar getting her liquid injectable BBL and Tony meeting with the people for the movie. Like, I don't really care about all that. I want the nitty gritty, the real. Like, that's what I'm here for, okay? All that other stuff is just, child, please. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else is going to happen this season. So far, girl, it ain't looking too bright. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for the comments on my last video, for tuning in. I was not expecting that, but I truly appreciate it. And I hope y'all enjoyed this one. And I'll see y'all next week for the next review.